Hello guys and welcome to my new video. We're going full evasive today because a lot of meta decks struggle into heavy evasive deck lists, and I think that's the way to attack the current meta. Before we dive into the deck list, don't forget to subscribe for more Lorcana videos, and now have fun, let's go! I think the first deck list today is a pretty obvious choice. Recent CCQ winner, color combo Ruby Amethyst, and I took the winners list and adjusted it a little bit because it's already so strong. Why change it much? We have quite a few cards I want to talk about. Let's go over it. We have 3 shift lines with Luisa Madrigal, with Mr. Incredible, and we have the new Peter Pan and Tinkerbell team up card, and that's why we run a couple shift targets for them, and also including 4 copies of the new Purple Morph, which functions as a shift target for all our other bigger characters and threatens a shift from any character. And your opponent can just guess what character is coming, shifting onto Morph, which makes it really strong. We have Cheshire Cat in the build, 3 copies of the cat, because we want to challenge with our bigger characters. We want to collect damage and then use Cheshire Cat's boost ability to move that damage onto another opposing character to take on multiple characters in one turn. Our draw engine number 1 in this build, Dumbo, is back in the meta game. He kind of lost its like place into most of the meta decks, but now he's back, and in combination with lots of evasive characters, especially the new Peter Pan Tinkerbell team up card, the Dual Link. Every character gains evasive, and you can use Dumbo ability with all your other characters you have in play, which is insane. You gain 1 lore, you draw a card, so you're not only moving forward to 20 lore, but you're also drawing a bunch of cards each turn using Dumbo effect with all the other cards. A card I talked about early on in the set and at the end of the last set, I thought will be very important, Isis Fender Chill, 4 copies of her. 4 cost uninkable, 4 strength, 4 willpower, so quite a good body. Quest for 1, and when you play this character, you can exert chosen opposing character. So you can slowly build up your board with your 1-drop characters, with Morph maybe in turn 2, shift one of your bigger characters, and in turn 4, you exert with Isis Fender Chill, use your strong characters to take out opposing cards. And this is such an important card in this build. Use her wisely. You have 4 copies of her. But Isis Fender Chill is a very underrated card, but I think players now, they realize it's needed. In every purple deck, you need Isis Fender Chill, at least 3 copies or maybe 4 copies, but so good card. We have Hades, of course, for additional removal or card draw. Like I said, Luisa Madrigal is in the game. And also, Miss Incredible can make a difference. You can give her at the start of your turn either evasive or +1 lore, but the evasive ability is such a strong because it can't be touched by most of the characters from your opponent. She has a good body, 5 strength, 6 willpower, brings her into Gaston range. So against like yellow decks, maybe she isn't the right choice, but still, she brings you lore, she gets evasive, she's barely untouchable and trades into so many characters. I talked about him, Mr. Incredible here as well. We have the Mona, of course, including all opposing characters and drawing out each player up to 3 cards. And like I said, Peter Pan and Tinkerbell team up card is here. Shift 4, Quest for 2, good body with 5 strength, 4 willpower, and every other character gains evasive, which is important in this build. So you want to build up your board, you want to shift Peter Pan and Tinkerbell as soon as possible, and then use the Dumbo effect with all your cards you have in play. For removal, we have 4 copies of Red Alert, and I think Red Alert, even though it costs 4 and it's just an action, you need 4 copies in every Ruby deck right now. You can banish chosen character with 3 strength or less, and if you have a monster card character in play, chosen opponent loses 1 lore, which is an effect most people ignore because they don't run very much monster cards, and in this build there isn't any monster card here. But still, Red Alert is such an important card, such an important tempo gain. So you can remove Eleanor's, for example. You can remove like Grandmother Willows, Hams and stuff, anything which like is a threat to your game plan and brings your opponent forward. So easy choice putting 4 copies of Red Alert in this build, and like the CCQ winner, I included 2 copies of a very underrated card as well, Colors of the Wind, 4-cost inkable action song. Each player reveals the top card of the deck and draw a card for each different ink type of cards revealed this way. So with all the dual ink cards now back into the game with set 13, and I think it's a good chance to draw 2, maybe even 3 cards with Colors of the Wind. It's a song, you can sing it with your 4-cost characters, like you can play Isis Vanderjill, exert, challenge with your other characters, the next turn use Isis for singing Colors of the Wind. And like I said in my early video in set 13, Colors of the Wind not only gives you card draw, it also gives you information what your opponent will draw the next turn. And so you can prepare a little bit for what's coming on the opposing side the next turn. Overall, a really solid list. I like Red Purple Evasive. As always, if you want to copy the list, you will find the link in the video description below. And I have 2 more decks prepared for you, and the last one is probably a big surprise. So the second deck is Green Purple Evasive, and thinking back like 5 or 6 sets, Green Purple Evasive discard was one of the best decks to play thanks to Diablo. We all remember him. And I think now, with all the evasive cards we have in the game, I think Green Purple Evasive can be a good meta contender for all the decks struggling into a heavy evasive list. Let's have a look at some card choices I made for this build. We have Pegasus and Todd as our 1-drop characters, Todd being like a cost reduction for the Vixie character. You can play her in turn 2 already because you pay 1 in class if you have a Todd character in play, but you can also shift the new Todd and Copper team up card. With only 2 ink, you have a 3/3 body, 2 lore evasive character in play in turn 2, which is barely untouchable for your opponent unless they have like the Nuts draw with this early Strength and Raging Fire, early removal. But I think the shift 2 with Todd and Copper is such a good play when you're on the play. But we also have Frozone. He's also evasive, 2-cost. We have some cards to disrupt your enemy hands with Ursula and Lenny, get some actions or song cards from your opposing hand. We have the White Rabbit with his underdog ability, so if you're on the draw, you can play the White Rabbit in your first turn. We have Violet Power in the mix, also evasive, 4 strength, 2 willpower, quest for 1, and when you play this character, you may move 1 damage from chosen character, chosen opposing character. So you can use her ability to like challenge previously into 1 character and then move the damage from your character to the opposing character and take it out, or like pre-damage it or whatever. So just good card, evasive, and with her 4 strength, she hits very hard and can take out a bunch of characters as well. I already mentioned Vixie, which quests for 2 and is a very strong play in turn 2 as well. And number 1 draw engine, of course, Dumbo is in the build, and also the new legendary Mushu, 3-cost inkable character, 3 strength, 2 willpower, quest to 1, evasive, of course. And whenever this character quests, if an opponent has more cards in your hand, you may draw a card. And if you're on the play, Mushu is a very like good play in turn 3. So you curve out, play Mushu, ink in turn 4, quest with Mushu, draw a card, and your card draw engine is up and running. And also I included 3 copies of the new Rapunzel, a very underrated card, slowly making her way into meta decks. 4-cost inkable character, 3 strength, 3 willpower, quest to 1. And when you play this character, you may choose and discard a card. If you do, you return chosen character to place. And so it works like a mother knows best on a stick. Quite a solid body, 3 strength, 3 willpower, and she can sing songs the turn after. But we're not done here with the characters. I included 3 copies of Quident, 5-cost inkable card. Rarely any player knows this card, but I think it's so good. 4 strength, 3 willpower, quests for 2, evasive, of course, as well. And whenever this character quests, each opponent chooses and exerts 1 of the ready characters. So if your opponent decides to like leave his I don't know, core or like, I don't know, crucial character upright and ready, and you quest with Quident, he has to exert it by himself. and then he's ready to be challenged by one of your other characters, which can be really, really good. And also, like, kind of a finisher, kind of like, if you're already ahead, you can play Ursula, Whisper of Vanessa, 5-cost inkable card, 4 strength, 5 willpower, quest for 2, and you can boost her with 1 ink. And while there's a card under this character, she gets +1 lore and evasive, of course. So she's a very good finisher, like I said. So only 2 copies of her in this build. In some games you not even make it to like 5 ink, but in some you really go wide early on, drop 1 evasive character after another. And Ursula Vanessa, easy ink choice early on in the game. But if you make it to play her, if she sticks, you can quest easily for 3 or 6 or even more lore with Ursula. The Whisper card. Let's talk about some songs and items I included in this build. 4 copies of Mother Knows Best. Also, very good choice if you can like establish a Vixie early on, or if you can shift a Todd and Copper in turn 2, you can send the card back to your opponent's hand, disrupt his game plan. Very good card. Still an OG card from set 1. For more card draw power, we have 4 copies of Junior Woodchuck's Guidebook, drawing you 2 cards. Great item. And also 2 copies of Snowford. 3 ink uninkable item. Your characters get +1 strength, so they have more challenge power and also more power to like fight back if they get challenged. But what it also does is give your characters resist +1 in your opponent's turn, which can be really crucial against some steel decks. They all run Angel, and when an Angel player discards a card, she can deal 2 damage. And we run quite a few characters with only 2 willpower, and Snowford protects them from Angel ability. They only deal 1 damage, they survive, and they can live another turn. So Snowford really tech cuts for all those steel matchups in this build. Overall, in testing, I had the most fun and the best results with this build, to be honest. Like always, if you want to copy it, you will find the link in the video description below. And I have one more super evasive deck prepared for you. Like I said, the last deck might surprise you a little bit. Ruby Emerald Evasive deck. I included all the good Emerald cards you've seen before. We have Pegasus, we have Todd, we have the White Rabbit, we have Vixie, we have the new legendary Mushu as our primary card draw engine, and we have of course the Todd and Copper team up card. But I thought, like, we have some good evasive cards in Ruby as well. Why not pair this color combination and make a good evasive deck? We have Dash Par, a 1-drop, 1 strength, 1 willpower, quest 1 evasive in this deck. So we can shift the new 5-cost inkable Dash Par on top of it with only 3 ink, 4 strength, 4 willpower, quest 1 evasive as well. And whenever this character quests, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If you do, you may play it. Otherwise, put it into your discard. This ability is very strong later in the game. If you have already like 3-4 ink, you can use Dash Par's ability, quest, look at the top card. You usually have the ink to play all the cards in your deck, and if that card fits your, like, the turn you want to play it, the card fits perfectly into your game plan, just do it. Play it from top of your deck. You keep your hand size and you can play cards from the top of your deck. Otherwise, just put it into discard and play from your hand. So Dash Par, really good addition in this deck, really good card, and I like his ability. What else do we have in this deck? I included 4 copies of Powerline. He made its way back into a deck. Singer 4 in turn 2 can be really crucial because we run quite a couple songs. I included 3 copies of Jebediah Farnsworth, 2-cost inkable character, 3 strength, 3 willpower, evasive, and reckless. I cut 1 copy to maximize on Ruby removal because I ran into so many Cheshire Cat traps with Jebediah Farnsworth. I had to challenge into bigger characters. They had the damage on. My opponent played the Cheshire Cat, removed the damage, and took out another character of mine, which was devastating. So I cut down to 3 copies of Jebediah Farnsworth to work more Ruby removal in this build. But we get to the removal right away. Also, 4 copies of Randall Box in this build. New card from set 13, 2 cost inkable character, 3 strength, 1 willpower, evasive as well. No lore, but while all cards in your Inkwell are executed, this character gets +2 lore. And this can quite escalate really quickly. You play Randall in turn 2, you play a 3 cost in turn 3, you quest for 2 with Randall, and he's not very touchable, he's not a threat for your opponent, and easily quests for a bunch of lore throughout a course of a game. So Randall Box, really good addition to this Ruby Emerald Evasive deck. What this deck struggles a bit with is card draw, so I included 3 copies of Donald Duck Perfect Gentleman, 4 cost inkable card, 2 strength, 5 willpower, so quite a good body to hold some damage and take a few hits. Quests for 2, and at the start of your turn each player may draw a card, so you can draw 2 cards at the start of your turn. If you have dash power, you can look at another top card from your deck, play this from top, so you have enough hand cards to play with, enough options to play with. And talking about options to play with, I'm talking removal and stuff, actions and songs. 14 in total. We have 4 copies of Red Alert. Like I said, every Ruby deck should run 4 copies of Red Alert. Such a good removal card. And we have a monster card in this build. We have Randall Box. So not only you remove 1 character with 3 strength or less, but your opponent loses a lore as well. But I also included, and that's why I run Power Line in this build, Be King Undisputed. 4 cost uninkable song. Each opponent chooses and banish one of their own characters. So if you're on the play, you play your 1-drop character, you play a Power Line. If your opponent misses his turn 1 character, you can sing Be King Undisputed in turn 3 with Power Line. He has to sacrifice his turn 2 play. He's without characters. You play another 1 or 2 cards in turn 3. Go wide, go fast, quest out. So very, very strong play line. Also, we have 3 copies of Mother Knows Best, I think no words needed, and 3 copies of Education or Elimination. 4 cost inkable action song, and you have 2 options to choose from. Either draw a card and then choose 1 character of yours to he gets +1 lore and gains evasive until the start of your next turn, or you can banish chosen damage character. So if your opponent makes the mistake of leaving damage on one of their stronger characters, you can use Education or Elimination for like remove this pre-damaged character, but also like out of nowhere you can give one of your cards +1 lore and evasive. By the way, most of your characters in this build have evasive anyway, but imagine giving Donald Duck your draw engine +1 lore and evasive. You quest for 3, he has evasive until the start of your next turn, so barely touchable by your opponent, and he does the trick the next turn as well. So overall, I really love this this build. Very surprising for many opponents. I've won quite a few games against some of the meta decks, especially yellow, purple and Eleanor decks, because they couldn't handle all the evasive power, and with all the removal in this build as well. I had easy game against their weaker characters they play, and took out Eleanor after Eleanor with Red Alert. Also like draining their lore with Randall Box on board. So overall, I really enjoyed playing this deck. Maybe it needs some tweaking and twerking here and there, but enjoyable list. Maybe surprising if you bring it to a local league or set champs. Like always, you will find a link in the video description below if you like the list. And yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my full evasive deck video. If you're new to the channel, I'm always happy about new viewers, so hit subscribe, leave a like and comment which one of the 3 decks you would like to see in one of our home gameplay videos. Thanks for watching, see you next time, Flokki.